Love is not enough. That sounds wrong, doesn't it? Because if there is one thing dog owners are certain about, it's this. My dog knows I love him. And he probably does. He sees it when you feed him, when you let him sleep beside you, when you call his name in that soft voice no one else hears, when you come home and he runs to the door like you've returned from war instead of work. But science has uncovered something deeply unsettling. A dog can feel loved and still feel emotionally unsafe. And emotional safety is the one thing your dog needs more than anything else in this world. More than treats, more than toys, even more than affection itself. Because to a dog, safety is survival. Your dog's brain is constantly asking one question. Am I safe with you? Not, do you love me? Not, are you a good person? Not, did you buy me expensive food? Only this. Are you safe to trust when I'm scared? And the answer to that question shapes your dog's entire emotional world. A 2018 study published in Scientific Reports discovered that dogs form attachment bonds with humans that closely resemble the bond between infants and parents. Your dog does not simply live with you. He depends on you psychologically. You are his secure base, the place his nervous system turns to when the world feels uncertain. And that changes everything. Because when humans think about love, we often think emotionally. But when dogs experience love, they experience it neurologically, through patterns, tone of voice, predictability, body language, emotional consistency. Your behavior literally becomes part of your dog's stress response system. That means small moments matter far more than most owners realize. The sigh of frustration, the sudden yelling, the leash jerk, the angry tone, the punishment for fear, the ignoring, the unpredictability. To humans, these moments feel temporary. To dogs, they can feel life-defining. Researchers studying canine stress have repeatedly found that dogs exposed to chronic tension develop elevated cortisol levels, hypervigilance, anxiety behaviors, and long-term emotional instability. Stress is not just something dogs feel. It physically alters the brain and nervous system. And what makes this heartbreaking is that most of the stress dogs experience is not caused by cruelty. It is caused by misunderstanding. Take yelling, for example. Humans yell because humans believe communication changes behavior. Dogs do not experience yelling the same way humans do. A dog does not analyze your argument. He does not separate your words from your emotional state. He does not think, she's angry because I chewed the shoe. Instead, his brain reacts to intensity itself. Studies using brain imaging technology have shown that dogs process emotional human voices in specialized regions connected to fear and threat detection. Angry tones activate stress responses automatically. Your dog may not understand every word you say, but he understands emotional danger instantly. And when that danger comes from the person he trusts most, the impact becomes even stronger. Because fear is always more painful when it comes from someone you depend on for safety. That is why emotionally unsafe environments create confusing behaviors in dogs. The dog becomes clingy, or reactive, or withdrawn, or destructive, or emotionally shut down. And owners often interpret these behaviors completely wrong. They call the dog stubborn, dramatic, dominant, needy, disobedient. But many times, the dog is not trying to misbehave. The dog is trying to cope. Science has shown that chronic stress in dogs often appears through repetitive behaviors. Excessive licking, pacing, chewing, barking, trembling, inability to settle, or hypersensitivity to small triggers. These are not random habits. They are nervous system responses. And one of the biggest causes of those responses is unpredictability. Dogs thrive in environments where they understand what is safe and what is not. Predictability lowers stress because the brain no longer has to remain in constant alert mode. But inconsistent human behavior destroys that stability. Imagine living with someone whose reactions change every day. Sometimes they laugh, sometimes they explode, sometimes they ignore you, sometimes they overwhelm you with attention. You would never fully relax around that person. Neither does your dog. And yet, millions of owners unintentionally create exactly that emotional environment, especially when fear is mistaken for bad behavior. A dog pulls away from another dog. He freezes during a walk. He hides during loud noises. He avoids strangers. Humans often respond by forcing exposure because they believe avoidance makes fear worse. But behavioral science warns that overwhelming fearful dogs without giving them control can intensify anxiety instead of reducing it. This is called flooding. And flooding teaches dogs something devastating. My fear does not matter. My signals do not matter. I am not safe when I'm vulnerable. That lesson damages trust at its core, because trust for dogs is not built through control. It is built through protection. Your dog watches you constantly for emotional information. If you stay calm, he feels calmer. If you become tense, his body reacts too. Studies have even found synchronization between human and canine stress levels, meaning dogs can absorb emotional tension directly from the people around them. Your emotional state becomes part of your dog's environment. Think about how powerful that is. Your dog is not just listening to you. He is emotionally living inside the atmosphere you create. And perhaps the saddest part of all this is how invisible canine stress can become. Dogs are incredibly adaptive. A dog can suffer emotionally while still wagging his tail, still greeting you happily, still following you everywhere. People assume loyalty means emotional health. It doesn't. Dogs stay attached even when stressed because attachment is survival. That is what thousands of years of domestication created, an animal biologically designed to remain bonded to humans, which means your dog may continue loving you even while struggling emotionally beside you, not because he enjoys the stress, but because you are still his entire world. And that reality carries enormous responsibility, because once a dog truly feels emotionally safe, everything changes. Learning improves, confidence grows, fear decreases, curiosity returns, playfulness returns, trust deepens. Not because the dog was trained better, because his nervous system no longer feels trapped in survival mode. That is the real goal of good dog ownership. Not control, not dominance, not perfect obedience, emotional safety. A dog who feels safe around you will trust you even in frightening moments. He will recover from stress faster. He will communicate more honestly. He will show you his real personality instead of survival behaviors. And in many ways, that is the purest form of love that exists between humans and dogs. Not ownership, not authority, safety. So tonight, when your dog quietly lays near you, remember what he is truly asking for. Not perfection, not constant happiness, not a flawless life. Just this: please make the world feel less frightening when I'm beside you. Because the one thing your dog needs more than love is to feel completely safe in your presence.